We got Dime on the beat in the building. I want to thank you so much for taking your time, your energy, and blessing the platform. This is an episode of Detroit Got Celebrities. I'm your host, Lee, and let's dive into it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you. So, Dime, tell me about your upbringing in Detroit.
So, I'm from the West Side.
West Side, okay.
Born and raised. I spent a lot of time over on Finkel. That's really where I'm from. And then went to school over there. Went to Warrendale. Met a lot of people over there. And then my mom decided she did not want me to go to DPS schools during high school.
Okay.
And she moved me and my sister, out to the Ann Arbor, Ypsi area so we can get a better education. Shout out to her though. That was a good decision. Shout out to her. But I did, I guess, the normal of what a childhood do. Spent a lot of time with my cousins, my friends. I will say during that move, because I spent about 4 years out there. That was high school, 4 or 5 years. Met some people out there, but it was just something about being out there I just didn't like. Something about the people out there that just wasn't authentic. So my mom tried to keep me away from Detroit, but I always end up coming back anyway. So I would just always like either sneak down here or she would bring me down here with my cousins on the weekend. And I would still like come down here and spend time down here, and she did not like that. But you can't keep me away from down here. I'm from down here. The atmosphere is just different from up there. So completed my little 4 years of high school out there, and then brought my ass right back. Moved back down here. Well, I say I went a year of college out there too, and that's really where I kicked off my music too, out there, because I met a couple producers out there that inspired me before I left and came back down here. So yeah, my childhood I was a good kid for the most part. Grades good. Before I stopped going to college, the last year of me going to college, I did an audio engineering course. That was my last time going back, and it was a 2-year program, but I only finished 1 year because I was impatient and I wanted to be taught hands-on, so I stopped going after 1 year. Ended up running into somebody and they taught me hands-on. They didn't teach me how to make beats. Shout out to Sparks. I ended up, Sparks the beat maker, he's a producer out in UC. That really kicked it off for me. Before that, I was inspired by my mom's best friend's son, which he's a producer too, and I went to his studio. Basically fell in love. I fell in love with the vibes and everything. I ended up doing research, and pretty much from there I was in love. And when I did my research, I'm like, it's not even a lot of females doing this. You don't even hear about females doing this. So, and I always been a person that I don't like to do what everybody else doing. I like to find my own lane, whatever I'm good at, and if it happened to be not what everybody else is doing, I'm sticking to that for sure. So that's what I ended up doing, and it was pretty much up from there. When I met Sparks, he just told me what to put on my computer, and then after that I taught myself how to make beats, and yeah, it was pretty much up from there, and I kept going.
So when you first started, because I don't want to, so when you was out there, what was you at Warrendale, you said?
Warrendale here.
Okay, Warrendale, that's is over there, what area is that?
Tireman and Warren.
Okay.
Yeah, like Joy Road and Warren.
Okay, you talking about Warrendale. Okay, so you were still in the city for real. Mm-hmm. You just moved to Warrendale. Like, that's over there, like, Dearborn, like not too far from
Yeah,
Dearborn,
not from-
just
not-
in the middle, but it's still Detroit though.
Right.
One day, yeah, for
Right.
sure.
Right.
Okay, so when did you first like knew that you wanted to do beats? Like when did you just like when you was in there catching the vibe? When you was like, this me?
It was the pandemic was about to start, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing like a weak ass customer service job. I was comparing myself to people on the internet, which that is bad. I just want to let y'all know that's bad. But in that moment, it was good. Because I started comparing myself on the internet. Everybody was getting off the ground with their businesses and people was starting stuff. People was using the money for the right things during that time. You know, if you catch my drift, because it was, you know, the PPP was going on and the deploy was going on, but it was a lot of people actually getting a business off the ground during that time because it wasn't nothing else for people to do. Everybody was at home. I started comparing myself, and I was just did some soul searching. I started praying, and I was like, what do I want to do? I don't want to be just a 9-to-5 girly in the corporate, just working for under somebody my whole life. I don't want to do that. I did my research. Actually, no. Before that, my mom's best friend had a son that was cool with my brother, and my brother rap. He knows how to rap. He doesn't rap currently, but he knows how to rap. And he had his times where, when he was younger, he used to rap more, but once he got older and, you know, got in his working bag, I guess he kind of just let it go. But with that, my mom's friend's son, shout out to Excel Beats, he's a producer. And my mom was steady trying to link them two. But I took a liking to his art, and he invited me to his studio, and it was amazing. His setup was amazing. He showed me some songs that he was producing or he had produced, and I fell in love. I just fell in love with the vibe. I fell in love with the fact that someone could do something like that. Granted, there's always been producers, but the fact that I seen somebody that was close to me do that and I knew it was obtainable, that's what I fell in love with. So that moment, and when I left the studio, I don't know what year that was, maybe like 2016, 2017, I knew like, yeah, this is me. I wanna do this. I wanna do this. Then from there, my mom, because at this point, I kept telling her, like, Mom, this is what I want to do. Like, I want to do this. I don't see nothing else for myself at this point. So, yeah. So she had a barber, and her barber knew a producer. His name was Sparks. Shout out to Sparks. He told me to reach out to him. So I did via Facebook, and he was cool. Like, he told me to come through. He like, come check the vibes out. It was a studio in Ipsy. He the owner of the studio now. It's called Top Rank Studios out there. And he basically introduced me to everybody out there. He told me what to get, what equipment I needed. And I did. I went on Facebook Marketplace, found me a little MacBook Pro for $300. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go ahead and kick that off. Yeah, and I started with GarageBand. He like, download GarageBand and get it popping on there. I say, okay, that's exactly what I did. Like I said, he didn't teach me how to make beats, but I just wanted to do it so much, I figured it out. Like, that's just what it was. When people be telling me or asking me, teach me how to make beats, teach me how to make beats, you just gotta want to do it. Because if you want to do it, you're gonna figure it out. And then the technology is way better today. So it's people that's 16, 17, 13 making beats. So if you really want to do it, you do it. And that's what I did pretty much. After that, they needed an engineer at the studio, so there was an engineer up there who basically taught me how to engineer, and I started taking sessions after that. So that's what I do too. I'm an engineer too. So yeah, that's when I knew. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to kick this off. Sold a beat within 3 months of me started making beats for $30. I remember that. The nigga in jail, but shout out to him, my first customer.
So your first beat, you sold it for $30.
$30. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. My first sample was my first beat was a sample. I remember it was a Shalimar sample. Feels like a night to remember. I remember, and everybody was just impressed that I caught on so fast. So once I started promoting on Instagram and just showing everybody like, yeah, I make beats, everybody was fucking with it because nobody had heard of a female or a lot of females doing that. It wasn't a thing when I started doing it. It wasn't a common thing for females to do. So I had a lot of support with the friends that I already had on social media, and like I said, within 3 months, somebody was like, yeah, I want that beat. How much? I said $30. I was so proud of that too.
Like, yeah,
yeah, made my little first sale. $30. Didn't know what I was doing. Exclusive lease, I don't know, have it. $30.
So when you sold that first beat, how was it a contract involved, or
No.
how do that go when you sell a beat? Like, what's the process with that?
So when I first saw that beat, no. Like,
Mm.
I was just happy to sell it. There was no contract. I had a tag. I knew I had to have a tag, but and even with that, I didn't have no contract back then. But now that I learned and know everything, yeah, you gotta have your paper straight. You gotta have your paperwork straight. Leases are different from exclusives. Everybody has their own terms as far as what they want, as far as splits. Publishing, producers get 50% of publishing, artists get 50% of publishing. That's always that, unless you sign your publishing over, and you would be stupid to do something like that. But it's everybody has their own terms, depending on who you've worked with, your credits, what you're capable of, your quality, your sound. That all factors into your terms. Now, starting off, like I said, I didn't know nothing. I was just selling beats willy-nilly, and I'm pretty sure niggas did what they wanted to do with my beats. I didn't care. I mean, I don't care now, of course, because that was a stepping stone, starting point. Them beats are ass now. You know, like, I just don't like my first one. I think that's all producers out. Like, when you first start making beats, you consider your first beats ass. They don't sound as good as what because you grow.
Right. Get better and better.
Right. So, but now, yeah, you gotta have your paperwork, them contracts, especially when you get bigger and you start dealing with labels. When you start dealing with labels, you gotta have your paperwork straight, because you will get fucked in this shit. You will get fucked. People will take advantage of you. People will make you seem like things are sweet. Make sure you have a lawyer. So I was talking to a producer the other day, one of my homeboys, and he was like, having a manager cool, but having a lawyer is more important than a manager. And you'll have it's a plus to have a lawyer that is so involved with music that they can just do the manager role as well. It can connect you to people as well. So if you have that opportunity to come across a lawyer that can fulfill the manager role as well and connect you, that's the best thing. You really don't need a manager. But yeah, even though I did have a manager, some managers, you don't need them.
So you don't recommend producers dealing with managers?
Once you're making so much money and you have a certain notoriety, and you know let me see. If you're an industry producer and you a go-to producer, yes, have some management. Especially if you can afford it. Have a management, have a lawyer, have all that. That makes sense for that. But starting off, or even, it's not needed. you can, it's optional. I feel like in my eyes it's optional. When I had my managers, that was optional. At that point I thought I needed it, but I didn't. A lot of managers be fucking people over. A lot of people be acting like they know what they doing and they don't. They just want a piece of what you're doing because you're the talent. And it's just a lot of, cut out the middleman as much as possible. If you feel like you don't know what you're doing, I recommend everybody to learn the business. But if you truly feel like you just need help with it, I don't know. I can't even say that, because it's just, do your research. Learn the business. You have to learn the business. When you doing contracts and dealing with labels, if you have to, yes, lawyer up so they can look over these contracts and these agreements that you signing, so you won't be signing on bullshit. But a manager is optional. It's optional. You don't need a manager as a producer now.
Okay. So do you have a lawyer? What you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. You gotta, especially this far in the game, you got to have your lawyer. Just to look over contracts and stuff like that, or past things. If you feel like you owe money and things like that. I used to have managers, but I stopped working with them because it was going downhill. It wasn't the worst situation, but I felt as though they were shady. When I left Ipsy and came back down here, one of their nephews, it was two. One of their, and I'm not like doing name drops, I'm not messy like that, but I'll tell the truth. One of their nephews recommended me to them, and they was doing good work. Like, they were known around the city. It was a producer that was actually making all the beats, and there were two, I want to call them A&Rs, because they call themselves producers, in which they, I guess in a way, like DJ Khaled-ish, put the records together. Like, they did that before, so they call themselves producers, but also managers. But it was one producer in that group, and he was making all the beats, but I guess they fell out or whatever. The nephew had recommended me to them, and I was so excited at that time, and I knew I needed to level up from the studio I was at. I'm like, I'm ready to take it off. I'm ready to kick it off. I need to get the placements now. I met up with them, linked with them, and at first it was good. I was with them for 3 years. At first it was good, and then I just started peeping game later on in my 3rd year of being with them that they just weren't very transparent with me. I will say, during those 3 years, I'm not about to bash them and say that I just didn't get anything out of being with them. They definitely introduced me to some good people, some good artists. I maintained a relationship, but at the same time, they were just shady. They were just shady, especially towards the end when I started being more educated on the business, when I started asking about things and certain splits on certain things. A lot of advance money I didn't see from the placements that I got. When I looked, and I feel like the last straw of me wanting to separate from them was when I looked at my BMI, and my BMI looked crazy. I looked at my BMI, which is a publishing royalty site. It looked so crazy. I had 2 managers, right? And they were also producers, so they were getting producer split and manager split each. So, yeah. you know?
Nah.
So,
oh my goodness.
Okay, so, and when I saw that, I said, oh no. The thing is, too, a lot of the artists that they put me in front of, that they've worked with for years, they told me, at least 3 of them. One of them happened to blow up out of Detroit, and he ended up getting a deal. But he even told me, like, I don't know why you messing with them. You could do so much better. And even after these people told me, I was still willing to work with them. Like, one thing about it, I give people a chance. That was just me being young and not knowing anything. I was still willing to give them a chance. It was 3 people that they were just cool with and working with that coming to tell me, like, they, you know, everything and what it seemed, you know, you need to do your own thing. I don't know why you working with them. And I was still willing to do it, but it was just multiple things. I feel like they would. Taylor Bentley, shout out to her. That's my baby. We do a lot of, we do a lot of work together. Yeah. One time we did a song. She gave me an idea of what sample she wanted me to do, and we did it on that computer because it was a house with a basement, and the basement was the studio. So we did a song out there. And they got this thing where anything that's done on their computer is theirs. They could, I don't care what nobody say, they can do whatever they want, because that's exactly what happened in that moment. We did a song. She told me what she wanted me to sample. I did the beat. She recorded on it. And I guess when they heard it, they liked it so much that they started shopping the song around without us even knowing it, as if she was a writer and that was her song. And they had told me after the fact of them shopping it around. So I'm like, did y'all tell Taylor about this? Or y'all just feel like y'all can do whatever y'all want, like, or what? So when I asked them about it, they were just like, oh, we were gonna tell her, or you could tell her. I'm like, okay. And I ended up telling her about it, and she was like, no, I didn't know nothing about this. And she was like, I'm not okay with it either. And you wouldn't be okay with nothing like that, because that's not what it's intended for, period. She's not a writer. Like, if she wanted to do that, that would have been in the works, you know. She's not closed-minded to it, but it's just the fact that why would you take somebody else's song and start shopping it around the different artists as if she's a writer and this is a reference track, and to get somebody else on it and then tell us at the last. That was like I said, it was a lot of weird stuff going on, and luckily I didn't sign anything with them. So I got out of there, and I just told him, I called him after the 3rd year. I called him up and I was like, listen, and that was the year that I just figured out, like, I don't need them. I was reaching out to people, artists and things like that. It was to the point where I would DM artists that I want to work with, and they would pick me out the message request and reply to it. I'm like, oh, I could do this. I could work with these people without their help. So that was it. I'm like, I called one of them up, because like I said, one of them, I never really talked to him and communicated with him like that, because he was on some weird shit. I feel like he was like freaked out, scaring my female clientele away. He would bring my female clientele or some female clientele to work with me, and a lot of them would stop showing up out the blue, and they would reach out to me, like, or I'd reach out to them like, hey, what happened? And they'd be like, yeah, I would love to work with you, but when the manager, he's freaky. I don't like that. I'm like, damn, you scaring the hoes and the clientele gang? Why you just can't be cool? Like, why? It was just, I just had to get away from that. like, come on. And then he would make slight passes at me too, and I'm just like, we just can't just do business. Like, just money. Like, we can't just, wow. I just got tired of all of that. The other manager, he was the more cooler person. I will say the communication, and my thing is, if you are in business with somebody that's shady, then you damn near guilty by association. Even though I see the better in him than the other one, and that's the one I communicated with about, like, separating from them. it was too much going on. When I finally made that call and told him, he was in agreement with it, and then I guess he told the other manager, and with the other manager dude, he sent me a contract of a contract of something I already fulfilled. I thought that was weird in itself, because I'm telling y'all I don't want to work with y'all anymore. Why would you send me a contract to sign? Why would you do that? And then that was during a time where ChatGPT was on the rise. So what I do, put your contract in ChatGPT. And I read everything that ChatGPT broke it down. I said, oh, they think I'm dumb. Oh yeah, it's over. It's over. So I say all that to say, people don't need managers. Like, you don't want to go through that. Like I said, I didn't have anything signed. It's sad because within the last 6 months, within the last 6 months, 3 people that they have worked with has called me to see why I left them, because they're going through the same thing essentially. And it's sad. And for them, they've signed stuff with them. They have agreements with them. And I'm telling them on the phone, like, no, it wasn't the worst situation in the world. And no, it's not like I didn't get anything out of it, but I left before it got worse. I left before it got bad. So, and that was during a time that I was, getting closer with my father up there. Shout out to him, Big G.O.D. Doing my fasting and what I wanted to do. I had that was during a time that I don't think I had a whip. So I was like, Lord, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's been time. A lot of things I didn't get paid for. My BMI looked crazy. Like, I'm not seeing my royalties. Like, what should I do? And he pulled me away. I feel like, honestly, God pulled me away from that situation, and I can't thank him enough. I thank him every day. I talk to him every day for that. After all that happened, I ended up going to another studio. Shout out to Van Lou, and started working there, and that's the current studio I'm at right now. Crazy thing is too, when I started working there, because they do business and stuff up there too. When I started working there, I ain't heard from them in a whole year. After I told them I don't want to work with them, didn't hear from them for a whole year. And that was the year that I wasn't engineering nothing. I was still making beats, but I was not engineering or anything, because I was trying to pivot and see where I wanted to go next. So they had posted that I was working at the studio. I'm one of the engineers there now. And who did I get a call from? Ring, ring, ring. One of the manager. Oh, how you doing? I'm just checking on you. I ain't heard from you in a long time. I ain't heard from you in a whole year, gang. But since I'm working up there where you do business at, now you want to be nosy and figure out how I got in there? It wasn't you. Oh, well, how you get up there? I had my homeboy, I called my brother, shout out to Flair. He got me in there because he cool with the studio owner. Oh, well, we could have got you in there. I would have hooked you up. I didn't want you to help me. I don't want you to help me, gang. And then that's fake. I ain't heard from you in a whole year. I ain't heard from you in a whole year. And now you want to call and see how I'm doing randomly. You want to see how I'm doing and how I got in there and how I started working. I do things on my own. When you have connections and maintain good relationships are so important. And really, maintaining your relationships, a lot of people ask me how I keep my connections and network and get my placements and maintain my connection to always be able to receive a placement or work with that person, is keeping them relationships strong. Communicate when you need to communicate. Just valuing other people's time just like they value yours. That all matters and you never know. Once you're a good person, just being a good person will get you a lot of places. That's just and at the end of the day, that you have to be a good person. in this shit. Now in the music, I will say, as someone was told me, you gonna get fucked once or twice in this shit. Especially when you starting off, you're gonna get fucked. You just gotta hope they use Vaseline. You know, that's all. You know, and from that you learn. You don't ever stay stuck in the same spot. That would be a dumb move or rookie move, and just not using your brain. You have to learn from that. And like I said, like I reiterate, I feel like that situation I was in with my managers, it taught me a lot. It was an experience, you know. I appreciate it. I appreciate going through that, or even the trips and the engineering and who I ran into. I appreciate all of that. That's a part of my growth. You learn from it and you elevate and you do better. If you knew better, you do better. I know better, so I'm doing better. That's all it is. So yeah, it's pretty much that.
Yeah, pretty much that. That's a lot goes on in that.
Yeah, a lot goes on. You gotta elevate. You gotta fly.
For sure.
You know?
Well, thank you for all that information about management and producers. Now someone can learn.
Exactly.
You know
learn from it, y'all. Don't go through it.
For sure, somebody.
If you don't have to.
For sure. Do you enjoy working with Detroit artists, or are you looking to branch out to artists in other states?
Both. I want to do it all. I don't want to just... I love Detroit. I will always work with Detroit artists. I love our sound. At a point in time when I was in my old situation, they had told me to stop making Detroit beats. They had told me right before Detroit sound started blowing up, because they were on a pop wave. And, you know, I enjoy, I listen to pop, you know, like, but they were thinking bigger. They were thinking outside the box, and that's good. You know, they wanted industry placements. They wanted placements that were going to bring in money and, you know, but also I'm from Detroit and I love the sound. So getting me to stop making Detroit beats, it was hard. But I was willing to branch off. But ironically, after that, the Detroit sound started popping off, and I always think about, like, damn, I remember that time when the nigga came in the basement, like, stop, get off that Detroit shit, make some pop shit, make some da-da-da-da, and I'm like, now look, everybody got our sound. But I have worked with people that are in different states and things like that with different sounds. Not to say that the people in Detroit don't have different sounds. It's a very... Detroit is not all Detroit music in the sense of the popular Detroit sound, like the Rocane. I'm gonna call it a Rocane sound, even though Boss Man D-Lo and all of them, they got the sound, they've been doing it. That's the Rocane way, like that. Damn John Boy, Meech. The Florida sound is the Meech sound to me. The Florida sound is the OG Meech sound to me. It's not just all that. There is another side of Detroit that do, they call it tech, like techno. You know, they say we started the techno, the house music and the techno stuff. I honestly enjoy that type of music. So I'm not opposed to that. I will work with anything and everything. I'm not boxed in. I always say don't box me in, because I can do anything. I have done everything. Honestly, my favorite beats to make are like Afro beats. They it's feel good music. Like, make you want to get on a boat. You can be, it's 10 degrees outside. Somebody throw on some Timbs on a good day, and you want to get on the boat and start whining, grinding, you know? Like, I love feel good music. Whatever sounds good, feels good. Out of Detroit, I'm willing to work with everybody. I'm not really boxed into just Detroit. I feel like a lot of people be sounding the same down here. I will say that. And I'm not a fan of that, but, you know, I can never just pull away from the city. What? I love it here.
Right, for sure. How long, well, I already know, but how long have you been producing music, and what has your journey been like so far?
I started in 2018, August of 2018. My journey has been it's been fun. That's a good word. It's been fun and educational. It's been eye-opening. It's been good. Even what I consider a messed up situation or a bad situation, I always look at it as a learning experience. And I'm not trying to say that just to be saying that, but it's a lot of things. It's a lot of beauty and knowledge. And once you go through something and you learn, I can't do that no more. You really elevate when that happens, when things like that happen. Like, it really puts you in a better perspective of what you should and should do, where you go and can't go, or where you shouldn't go, who you should mess with, shouldn't mess with, what to look out for. My journey has been good to me. I'll say that. Through everything. I feel like my personality carries me a long way too. I'm doing different things, trying different things. I'm streaming. I'm getting on the streaming wave with everybody. I ain't gonna lie, I love me a little streaming. I'm a nerd though. I'm in the IT too, so I love things like that too. So I stream. I'm a gamer. I'm a producer. I do. I still got me a 9 to 5 too. In the name of Jesus, I will not be there in the next year or this year. In the name of Jesus.
The name of.
Okay. But you gotta do what you gotta do. I got bills. Okay. I got a crib. I got a dog. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, my journey has been good to me, and it's gonna get better every time. It's already getting better. So nothing bad for real. Regardless of anything, I look at it as growth and a good experience.
That's good, because how you look at the world, like, I'm looking from your perspective, you find the good in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just a good way to be in today's world. Just period, though. Just the positive outlook on every situation. Yeah. And learning from it.
I feel like that carries over into your attitude too. I'm a very goofy person. I love laughing. Mm-hmm. I love dancing. I love just being silly, making other people laugh. Like I said, my personality, it goes a long way, because things happen. Like, we're not about to act like things don't happen, and tragedies and things like that. But overall, you can't just be down and out all the time. You go through your periods of time. If you gotta cry. Get it over with, let it out. It's always good to let your emotions out and just feel. It's always good to feel, but don't ever forget that you got a mission and you got to keep going. And with that, you have to have a good personality for that. You just have to. If you sit here stuck and mad at the world all day, every day, you're not going to go nowhere. You're going to be stuck in the same place. I hate that mentality. That mentality of being like everything is somebody's fault. The victim mentality. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of it. Things happen to people. I get it, and some people can't control things, but you don't stress over things you can't control. You just control what you can and keep going and make niggas laugh. I make people laugh. I love laughing.
So you silly though.
I am. I'm a goofball. I'm not gonna lie. I love to laugh.
That's good though. Who is your favorite producer, and how have they influenced your work?
That's crazy. That's a crazy question. Who's my favorite producer? You gotta give me like a top 10 or something like that, because I don't just have
a few. Who are your few? Your
okay.
Top 5, 10.
Okay, that's better. Even with that question, it's like I got favorite Detroit producers I got favorite industry producers. Okay, let me just, this is not in any order. Dark Child, which is Rodney Jerkins. Kanye, Pharrell. Well, I say the Neptunes, cause Pharrell and Chad, but Pharrell by himself too. Michigan Meech, Rocaine, John Boy. John Boy was the first person to get eyes on me. I ain't gonna lie, shout out to John Boy. I remember I was on Facebook Live one day and me and John Boy happened to be friends on Facebook and I was making beats and he commented on my Facebook Live and was like, I've never heard a female this hard. And I'm like, thank you. Like, I'm like, wow, thank you. But the next day, I guess he kept thinking about it and he made a post on Instagram and it turned me up for sure. I'll never forget that.
Shout out to John Boy.
Shout out to John Boy. Me and him have yet to work. We be talking back and forth and I know my boy be busy. I know gang be busy, but we got some stuff in the works. Who else? Let's say Kanye. Let's see. Timberland, of course. Missy. I feel like with the people that I've named, I get bits and pieces from everybody. So I feel like my sound is more, because I feel like I make more Detroit beats than I make industry beats. Like other beats like R&B or the trap beats, like the Little Baby beats. I hate them beats, I ain't gonna lie. them NBA young boys, I hate them beats. I'm not a big fan of pain music anyway, but the sound that I feel like I have, John Boy, Meech, and Rocaine has contributed to that a lot. As far as the industry sound, I'm more so, I don't want to say cookie cutter, but I can adapt to anything. I could sprinkle some of my sound in there, but if somebody's going for something specific, I could do it. I don't know. And all of those people, if I need to get into a mode where somebody's looking for something specific, I go back and, if somebody want like a different style, because I work with, like I said, a lot of different artists. When I go live on TikTok, I run into a lot of different artists that want different things. And if I need to get in that mode, I'll listen to some Dark Child, some old R&B if they want to go nostalgia R&B, or I'll listen to some Timberland if they want to do that sound, or I take bits and pieces of everybody. Of course, I grew up on Timberland and Jay Dilla. I grew up on Jay Dilla, his sound, and just the OGs in the game. I grew up on that, but I can adapt with anything or to anything to be where I need to be and sprinkle my own little sauce on there,
For sure. 'Cause I heard you spoke about the producers. Like, what you feel about? I mean, because Dame Dot plays a big part.
Of course, Dame Dot one of the
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, his impact on the
Absolutely.
sound is on the city for sure.
Yeah, he produced for for a minute he was producing for Team Eastside, I want to say. Like, a majority of their stuff he was producing for Team Eastside. So, that whole, even Helluva.
Helluva for sure.
Yeah, Team Eastside and Dope Boys Cash Out, that sound curated a lot of just starting off or kicking us off. We grew up on that sound. Yeah. So, I feel like I have a preference of like what I would listen to, I guess.
Yeah.
As far as, so I have I have a category for Detroit sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I have a commercial. I consider it a commercial Detroit sound, and then I consider the underground Detroit sound.
Okay.
So the commercial Detroit sound is the T Grizzly sound. That's the 42 Doug sound. That's that type of sound. And then you have underground, which is V sound, which is different from, you don't hear V's on a lot of Hollywood beats.
Right.
He rap on 614 Ace. He's a producer that he does a lot of his beats. Just that type of sound resonates more with me, and that's the type of sound that I like. The underground Detroit V's, Babyface Ray sound.
Yeah.
Not to say that they didn't work with these people or those producers that produced for them, but they have a different. They not rapping on the T Grizzly beats. They not rapping on the 42 Doug beats. They have it like they 42 Doug and Babyface Ray got songs together, but their sound is just a little bit different to me, and I'm more so on I like the underground.
Yeah, for sure. They can. Yeah, I already know what you're talking about. It's just a different type of feel.
It's a different type of feel. And I appreciate that more. It's groovy. I call it groovy.
Yeah, for sure.
They say a lot of our sound originated from Louisiana, though.
Straight up.
And that makes sense. Like, I've heard people talk about that once you listen to the old, like, Lil Wayne and Cash Money, and how the Blade Icewood era, you know, comparing that to, you can kind of hear the same sounds in that. We just did it a different way. Yeah. I know a lot of people say Cali and Detroit is alike too. I feel like that came later on a little bit. On. But they say our sound not originated, but we got some of our sound when we first, Detroit started rapping during the Blade Icewood and Cheddar Boys and all that. It was, some of that sound was from Louisiana.
No, it do kind of like, I'm thinking about it now, like,
yeah.
That Blade Icewood, like when you hear that Wayne come, like that old Cash Money stuff, like when you hear that come on, you do get like Cheddar Boys.
Yeah,
like,
think about like
it do that juvie, it get that
exactly.
It do though. You hit that on the nose for sure.
Makes sense, because I love me some Cash Money. I'm probably the biggest Lil Wayne fan, even to this day. Because his new shit, you know, Lil Wayne, he getting older, okay? But his back in the day shit, biggest Lil Wayne fan ever. I love Lil Wayne.
That Lil Wayne run was crazy. I don't think nobody in history
absolutely not.
had that run.
And he was selling singles. And mind you, this is not during the streaming era. He's selling singles and that nigga doing that. So Lil Wayne and Wordplay and all that, when that came into play, like Lil Wayne was that nigga. I have a whole Lil Wayne playlist I have to put on sometimes when I get in that mode. There's something about that old Wayne get you activated.
That old Wayne.
Yeah, that old Cash Money, that old Lil Wayne.
I think it was 500. I bought that album, 500 Degrees.
500 Degrees? Absolutely.
I bought that album. I went to the store and bought that.
My brother was listening to a lot of that, so I naturally just started doing it. I'm a little girl in the car in his Monte Carlo. He banging Lil Wayne, Cash Money. I don't know what I'm listening to, but I know I like it. And then as I got older, it just curated my sound of what I liked, what I listened to, and I couldn't help it at that point. I just got sucked in, and I was a Lil Wayne fan.
Sure. Shout out to Lil Wayne too, man. He the GOAT for sure. He did it. Can you walk us through your creative process for coming up with a beat?
Yeah. Unless I am thinking of a certain sound, I'll start it differently. But for the most part, I start with the melody. Give me some keys going. Give me some keys. Give me a little counter melody going. Give me some strings. I know how to play the piano a tad bit. I'm not no Alicia Keys, but I know chords, major, minor scale. So, you know, play me something that feel good. Play around on there. Then I lay it down. And then from there, well, before that, I picked the BPM, of course. But the BPM really don't matter either because once the beat is done, I might change the BPM. To be honest, it could be slower and faster by the end of the beat, whatever. But once I do the melody, I lay down a melody, and I go in with the drums, my 808s, my hi-hats, do my little perks, do my little cowbells, and my rim shots, throw that up in there, depending on the bounce I want to go to, make it faster, slower, transpose, high, low, up an octave, down an octave. If it's on a day where I'm feeling a certain sound, or maybe I just got some sound in my head that I need to lay down, I might, or I'm thinking of a sound and the drums are really sticking out to me, I might start with the drums first instead of the melody, just so I can get that out of my head and lay down the rest. Because nothing worse, as a producer, I don't care what nobody say, it's nothing worse than thinking of something and by the time you get to the computer, it just leave. You be sitting there sick as hell, like, damn it, that was such a good idea. So whatever I have in my head, whatever pops into my head, because things just pop into my head as I'm making a beat or before I even get to the computer, I have to hurry up and lay it down. So some days I might start with the drums, but more often than not, I start with the melody first, do my drums, add my percussion, my little here's and there's, and that's pretty much it. Sometimes I like to sip me a little wine while I do this. Or sometimes I like to sip me a little Tito, Michael Brother Tito. I like to sip me a little Tito and cran. Or now my new shit right now is vodka soda, so I do Tito and club soda. I'm auntie pushing 30 now, so I can't be drinking all that sugar in my drink. Yeah, I have a headache the next day. But sometimes I do that, or sometimes I'm just completely sober. You know, I don't need to drink to get activated. You know, that's just on the chilling day, good days. I stream sometimes when I make my beats. I try to do it more often because I'm being more serious with the streaming now. So I've been doing streaming. I've been streaming for a year, so you can check out my streaming and see my process on there too. I sit there and chat. What up, chat? Like, I chill with them, yap it up with them, and then I make my beats, and they see the whole thing. And yeah, that's pretty much my.
What's your stream? What's the name of it?
So I stream on Twitch and TikTok. Twitch is Dime on the Beat on there. So yep, just Dime on the Beat. And on TikTok, my handle is Dime OTB. So yeah, either one of them, you'll catch me on there. Usually I multi-stream, so if I'm on Twitch, I'm on TikTok. Sometimes I do exclusive things on Twitch that is not on TikTok, but for the most part, most of my traffic comes from TikTok. TikTok has a really good algorithm, and it brings a lot of different people in, and that is what feeds my Twitch, because it's hard to get followers on Twitch just streaming on there. Nowadays, you have to have a different platform to bring other people in to even feed that or get more followers or just get a following on Twitch for people, an audience or anything like that. But yeah, I've been pretty good on here, getting my little subscribers and doing my little 1-2s. Yeah, make sure y'all follow me.
Yeah, go follow her. Who is the most famous artist you have produced a beat for, and what was that experience like?
Let me think. Skilla Baby.
Yeah.
Skilla Baby's probably the artist that's the biggest that I produced for. I've had people on my beats that the songs never came out.
Okay.
I've heard JT on my beats that actually recorded on a beat that I made, but the song never came out. So, but as far as the actual placement that got put out, it would be Skilla Baby. That was a great experience. I recorded him. I've engineered for him. And he's such a genuine person. Shout out to him. I love Skills. Definitely an eye-opener seeing him just take off the way he did, and
Support,
it was
yeah.
very. I was honored to be able to work with him before he got to that too.
For sure.
So I had a couple placements with him. But yeah, Skilla Baby was my biggest placement that's actually out.
That made it.
That made it. Cause I've heard people
Right.
get on the beats and, you know, but it never came out, so I don't count it.
Okay, so you work with Skilla, and those are like the biggest artists.
Yeah, the biggest artist, I would say.
And what song was that? Is it out?
Yeah, I got 3. I have about 3 songs with him. Let me think. J-Love, that's on his Standing on Business mixtape that came out like some years ago. Like in 2020, I want to say. J-Love, Famished, and I'm forgetting one. I don't know what it's called, but those got they streamed really, really well. One of them, I think it's called Jayla, started picking up on TikTok, so a lot of people was using that as a sound on there. So yeah, it was a good experience. He's a genuine person.
He seemed like it though.
He
You know what I'm
is.
saying?
He is.
Shout out to Skilla, man.
Yeah.
He really worked for that spot though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He put that grind. I was just watching something on the Foreign magazine of somebody speaking about it, and they was saying like Skilla used to come to the Bullfrog and perform by itself, getting on the bus and coming and performing, and then you just see like where people was and like
Yeah.
you
really like we saw the growth.
Yeah.
That's so genuine. That's
You know what
so
I'm
real.
saying? I was like, that's what's up. Do you find any challenging to create a beat, and what aspect do you find most difficult?
Do I find any about creating a beat? You said. Getting beat block. That's like writer's block, but for producers, beat block. When I go through periods of time where I feel like I cannot make a decent sounding beat, and I have to get out of that mindset when I'm in that space, because what sounds good to me or does not sound good to me sounds better to the next person. Like, I don't have to like my beats all the time. I'm not the one rapping on these beats.
Right.
But at the same time, I have a good ear. I'm an engineer. I have a good ear, and I know when something trash. Like, my friends hate that. My friends hate that. They like, girl, this hard. I'm like, you think so? I just have to, even to this day, I do the same thing. When I get in that mode where I feel like I can create a decent sounding beat, I often look for inspirations in different places. Really what gets me out of it is being in spaces with other artists or producers. It don't have to just be producers. Sometimes, like, I got friends that rap. I got Taylor, you know, she's actually my friend, and I got my homegirl Porsche. Shout out to Porsche, she right here behind the camera. But they, you know, when they perform and things like that, and I'm in a space where I cannot make a beat, when they go perform and do different things, I go with them just to get myself out of that and just be in a different space of just being where I normally am. Or sometimes I listen to different music, listen to some old school, listen to some pop, listen to some R&B, some old stuff, some techno. I listen to a lot of different things, so sometimes I just have to get myself out of my comfort zone, because sometimes that's hindering me. You're not supposed to really be comfortable. They say if you're comfortable, you're not growing. So once you're in an uncomfortable spot, that's when you know the growth is on, and it's among you. And so once I go through that spot where I'm just uncomfortable and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I need to do something better, I need something better, like I need to be better. I know the fact that I'm even thinking about being better and I don't want to stay where I'm at is good in itself. So I have to just branch off, do other things, be around other people, vibes, and things like that to get myself. That's the most difficult. I feel like I hate that. I really do.
You hate that?
Yes, I do.
That's difficult. I feel you. I noticed you collaborated with Taylor Benny. How did that partnership come about?
Me and Taylor met when I first started making beats out in Ipsy. Sparks, the producer that I was talking about earlier, he was reaching out to people for them to come work with him or whatever. And, you know, he would throw me in the mix too, like, you know, introduce me to some people too. So when she came out there to work, me and her kind of just clicked, and I started working with her. And yeah, after that was history. Like I said, shout out to Sparks again. I probably said that like 3 times, but he really kicked it off as far as just like meeting different people and, you know, just building that relationship with people. Taylor is such a genuine and pure soul. She's talented. I don't work with a lot of female artists. That's another thing. Like, since I've been producing, a lot of people think because I am a female producer that I'm supposed to work with every female down here. I don't like every female's music down here. A lot of these girls are trash. And no shade, everybody has their preference on what they like and what they don't like, but a lot of females be asking me to lock in with them, and it's difficult to lock in with somebody if you do not like their music, or you don't like what they talking about or anything like that. It's hard to do that. To think because I am a female and I should just work with, you should work with, I know this female, you should work, and I be listening to that shit. I'm like, no, I should not work with them. I know I shouldn't work with them. You know, like, that term girl's girl, I feel like it's been punched and abused. And I feel like to a certain extent I am a girl's girl, because I am not about to work with somebody just because we have the same counterparts. Or we have the same, we're both females and we both have vaginas. Like, you have to be sweet. You want me to sit in and lock in with you for hours? You want to build that relationship with me? You just gotta have it. Either you have it or you don't. If you're willing to take the direction or the creative direction, that's even better. A lot of people don't like to listen. They like to think that their way is the way. And I'm never trying to tell anyone but what to do, but you gotta be willing to listen. Like, you gotta be willing to listen to certain things. You wanna, even just like me, like, I have to be willing to take critique or just direction from the artist. If our artist wants something a certain way, or, you know, it's a relationship, it's a partnership, and we both have to like each other's energy and sound. So I feel like with Taylor, it was that, like, when I started working with her, me and her are really good friends. When I started working with her, we would be in my kitchen working. That project, the recipe art project, that project was done in our kitchen. Ironic, because the whole theme of it was just 2 chefs cooking up in the kitchen. The whole track list is named after different food items and food concepts. So I stick with that. I even got a Discord named The Kitchen, because I feel like we be whipping. We be water whipping. So, you know, and I cook in real life too. You know? So it's double entendre. I do it both. But her energy was very pure. She's sweet. She could switch it up. She got swag. Like, I don't know if people say that no more. I say swag. I'm sure my age was. But she just got it. And she on her way to the top too. We both are. We locked in for sure. Like I said, I don't come across too many female artists I could just work with. I'm not a fan of the coochie music all the time. If I'm turning up, okay, I can take it, I can hear it, I'll listen to it. But am I about to be turning that shit on in my playlist? No. The pussy, 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 take a nigga money, rob a nigga, da, 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 da. Like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I'm not biased. Like, same with the drill music, the kill, 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 spin the block on the op music. Like, I cannot deal with that all the time. I don't see how people can constantly put that in their mind all the time. I just feel like it takes your IQ down 1,000 points every time you listen to that shit. Like I said, every now and then you want to throw that in, and now, you know, I will listen to it. There are certain things a lot of people do, or they do rap like that, females rap like that, and they don't have no swag. You gotta think about Lil' Kim. When Lil' Kim was rapping about shit like that, she had swag. I mean, she had a cadence about her. She knew how to word things to where it sounded cool to rap things like that. But now everybody, the females be on the same 1, 2, 3, pussy, pussy, pussy. I need a nigga with money, you know, like the repetitiveness of that, I can't do it. But yeah, Taylor, my girl, we locked in forever. We still working.
Shout out to Taylor though, again though, cause I met Taylor a few times. Every time she seen me, open arms,
yeah,
like she's just so
love.
Sweet. Like you know what I'm saying? She really sweet.
She funny as hell, like me too. We both funny as hell. That's why I'm like, we both silly as hell too. We got that. It's like we both got that personality where it just worked well. So we both be on that too. Yeah, shout out Taylor.
She the hard. She for sure the hardest. Ain't nobody. I can't even think of no.
Yeah, her word. I feel like her wordplay
is crazy.
It's crazy. If you actually listen to her wordplay is crazy. She should be a lot farther than what she is. But you know, a lot of people like gimmicks. They like gimmicks, and she don't play into that. That's the thing. So once you don't play into that, you not selling your body, you not selling your coochie and rap. Like you not doing that. It takes longer. It takes longer for people. People actually have to listen to you. A lot of these females, they're just eye candy.
Right.
You know, and that's all they can rap about. You know, yeah, it's females out here getting the bag too, but that's what sells the music. You know, she's genuine when she raps. She actually raps. Me and her be watching rap battles and shit. You know, like right. She really a rapper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She really a rapper,
yeah.
Like artist, like she would. That's crazy because like you said, she should be way more fun.
Yeah.
I mean, she hard. Like
yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Like I don't. To be honest, I don't know nobody in the city that can mess with her lyrically and her whole style. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hands down. Like, I'm not even... I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Right, exactly. Yeah. She done said some crazy shit on the track before. And I'm like, nigga, how you think of that? Where you pull that word from? You got the Webster's pulled up? Where you get that word from?
And then you too, I really don't know no other female producer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you like one of the... Like, I can't think of none. That's crazy. Like, I'm glad you got that torch though. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and I'm still pushing. You know, I feel like now in 2026 you will see a lot. There's more female producers out now, but when I first started my first 3-year run, 4-year run, it wasn't nobody. Everybody just knew me as the female producer. Now when I go on TikTok, I think it's just my algorithm too. When I go on TikTok and scroll, my algorithm's producers, I see more female producers.
I'm talking about from the city.
Yeah. I'm about to say I don't know
Right. I mean, you in a lane, especially like if you get more exposure, you would take over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because y'all heard your beat is hard. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You in your bag with it too, for sure. I got on that. Let me. I know you're on Twitch. How has your experience been working on your Twitch channel, and what do you enjoy most about it?
I enjoy being myself on there. I enjoy engaging with different people. I enjoy the traffic that I get. I enjoy the people who come in and genuinely fuck with me as a person, as a producer, and they genuinely like my music, my process. I can laugh with them, joke with them. like I said earlier, it is hard getting traction on Twitch, so I have to use TikTok for that. But once I do, once people come across me, I get so many follows. TikTok is just such a good algorithm to where I had lost my page. It got deleted, my old TikTok, so when I started another one, my followers went right back up. I think I'm at 7,000 followers or so on there, like under 7,000 followers. So I'm about to reach 10K in a minute, and that's been, if I were a little bit more consistent, it would be way higher in a short amount of time. But I'll be having a lot going on, so I'll be trying to work it in. It should be a job. Twitch is a job. Streaming is a job.
No, for real.
To sit up there and be yapping, yap. Engage with the chat. You gotta engage with the chat. You gotta make sure your equipment right. Everybody see everything. And people are nosy too. That's the thing that works in your favor. People want to know what you're doing. People want to see everything. So
Right.
I don't like sharing my personal life, but in a space where it's creative, yeah. I chat it up with y'all. Y'all can see what I'm doing on these beats. Y'all can see me game. Y'all can see me do all that. And it brings me clientele in the studio. I've been having more people book with me. I've been having more people buy beats from me. It all feeds into my brand and my business. Streaming, I don't just, of course I do it for fun because I enjoy it, but it all contributes to everything. Like, I'm getting more beat sales. I'm getting more people want to book from the studio. I'm getting more people who do this, do that. The subscribers on there, that pays me on there. You know, all of it is just one pot of just me and getting my brand out there. So it just made sense for me to even start that. So I'm keep going with it too. I'm at 400 followers, 20 followers on there. I'm probably gonna reach 1K. My goal is to reach 1K by the end of the year. I just gotta be consistent on there. Like I said, that'd be a job.
Yeah.
It's a job, but I really gotta stick to it. One thing I know, you want something to grow, you gotta water it, and that's consistency. So I really have to stick with it, which I plan on doing that. So
Twitch is like a job.
yeah, it is.
I'm gonna have to. I got a Twitch, but I ain't got on there. But I need to get on there too.
If you got the time, do it.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be prepared for it though. You gonna go through times where ain't nobody in your shit, ain't nobody saying nothing in the chat. You got goals you gotta hit on there too for them to even consider you like an affiliate and stuff like that. Cause once you first get on there, I was talking my homegirl out with it the other day. Just showing the different goals that you gotta hit to even get subscribers. You gotta do certain stuff, so you gotta have time. You gotta be willing to go through all that. It's worth it though. Once you get that following, and as long as you got a personality, niggas gonna fuck with you. People gonna fuck with you.
Yeah.
The personality is a big aspect.
Yeah, I think I was gonna set it up on the DTG side
Okay.
and just. I already got it set up, but I want to just set it up where I can just bring the artists as on when we have a live talent show going on. You know what I'm saying? I'll put the money behind marketing at Twitch, use Instagram. I get it banging.
Right.
Trust me, it's a world out here. You can get whatever you want
Yep.
banging if you really want to put the money behind it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what people don't be missing.
You're right.
You got to put the money behind it. Like anything can work out if you put the money behind it. You know what I'm saying? Once there's a lot of artists, like a lot of talented people, if they start putting that capital up, but it's kind of hard for certain people. But once you start putting a couple dollars on it, like I was telling my people, I was like, look, like how do I go blow up on Instagram? I say, man, it's a button to say boost. You're not even using it.
Right. Yeah.
You ain't even using it. That say boost right there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Come up with your little marketing budget and promote it nonstop. It ain't hard.
You're right. You just gotta do it.
And like you said earlier, ChatGPT is so many resources to get to the next level. You could put ChatGPT, how can I grow my Instagram, such and such, such and such. I'm an artist, I'm a Detroit. How do I find out my target audience? It's no excuse in today's world about why you ain't nowhere. For sure. What has it been like collaborating with Samuel Shabazz, and how did you two connect?
Sam is one of my favorite artists to work with. Shout out to him. That's my friend.
He fired.
He fired. Sam is honestly my favorite artist from the city, I will say, because of his versatility. He can do the regular Detroit sound, but he sings. His beat selection is a little bit different as well. I met Sam through my old management when I was working over there in the basement, and we did a song, our first song together. It was him and Oba Roland. Shout out to Oba too. And he did that song. He said I was fire. I'm like, I've been a fan of you, so what's up? Like, let's do it. So from there, it's been up. We always collabing. He be on Twitch too, and sometimes when he working, I shoot him a beat while he on stream. He'll do the beat while he's streaming, and just me and Sam relationship is cool. He a cool nigga. He fire. I was a fan first for sure. I was a fan first. I remember one time Sam invited me to the studio. He did not tell me nothing either. He invited me to the studio to work with him, and Kodak was there. I'm like, Kodak? Like, for real? Like, me and Kodak didn't do nothing. We didn't do no music, but it's just like, he was so genuine to even just invite me into that space with a bigger artist like that.
Right.
Like, he such a genuine soul for sure. One of my favorite artists. We still working, still got music coming out. I probably got some of his next 2 tapes coming out. Who knows? I'll be feeding him beats. He always impressed me on my shit. Sometimes I be thinking I be sending him ass shit. He'll pick some shit out and make that shit sparkle. Like, put some fire on that motherfucker. I'd be like, oh, well, you like that. Cool, because if you wasn't out here, I damn near didn't even like the beat, you know?
Shout out to
But
Sam. He
shout
hard
out to
though.
Sam.
That tone, man,
Yeah. He get it from his daddy. You know, his daddy was, I think, was in Boyz II Men or something like that, or was in the group, or was in, I don't know, but his dad, he was an artist too, so I feel like he got that from him. And Sam definitely taking over with that for sure. I feel like he should be way farther as well, but you know, I feel like his sound is not the popular sound, but if you really deep dive into Sam, you're gonna be a fan.
No, for sure.
If you really
Hands
deep
down.
dive, his wordplay hard too. The way he execute is hard. Definitely cool people, fire artist for sure. I work with him forever.
For sure. Is there any artist you always wanted to collab with but have not had a chance to yet?
I want to work with Face. I want to work with Babyface Ray. I want to work with Bees. Me and Babyface Ray got an unreleased song, though. I mean, it don't count though because it's not out. But I definitely want to have a song out with him. Bees. Who else that's down here? Let me think.
Or it can be worldwide.
Right. Well, it's a lot of people I want to work with worldwide. I want to work with. I don't know. Like, it's so many people that I will be willing to work with. Okay, let me think about the people that I listen to. I would want to work with Dustin Conrad. He's a neo soul artist. I listen to a lot of his music. I would want to work with Drake, of course. Like, who wouldn't want to work with Drake? Work with, let me see, female artists, Candyman, Mona Leo. I feel like the girlies are getting back to rap. You know, they're kind of weaning off the popular girls anyway. They kind of weaning off the coochie rap. I feel like Mona Leo been getting back to that. She had be having her one bars, but she really be rapping too. I Candyman too. Like, I enjoy that side of the female rap. I don't know. It's a plethora of people. I want to work with Tim's. Like I said earlier, I enjoy making Afro beats. I want to work with Tim's, Burna Boy. I would want to work with Nicki if she wasn't a weirdo. My baby just went so downhill. I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in my baby. But, you know, hey, people do what they do. You know, I think she was headed downhill anyway with all the other shit. I want to work with Kanye as an artist. You know, if he ever emerge again, if he do his thing.
He can merge at any time he wants to.
Yeah, of course. J. Cole. I want to work with J. Cole for sure. I will work with Yachty.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Yachty is obtainable because he be fucking with Detroit a lot. I want to work with Rio. I ain't got one with Rio. I definitely want to work with Rio too. I will work with Georgiana. I feel like she cool. I fuck with her shit. Let me see. Star Bands. I fuck with Star Bands.
Yeah,
She hard. I feel, there's more, but I feel like those are like at the top of what I'm thinking of now, at least.
Good solution. How do you balance your time between producing, collaborating, and promoting your work?
That's an everyday struggle I'm still figuring out. Because I'm collaborating, I'm engineering, I'm producing, I'm streaming. Like I said, that's still work in progress. But you always put forth the things that matter the most.
Mm-hmm.
But you cannot forget about the things that you might think are small that still need to be watered. So, engineering, that's how I get my pay, my extra pay. I'm always going to do that. With that, I sell beats while I'm in the studio. If I'm engineering, sell my beats. A lot of my beat sales come from people, recommendations. People talking about me, people coming to me, or me making a beat in the studio while I'm with them. I do get sales on the internet as well, but my biggest sales are while I'm in the studio. So, you know, my engineering, me producing, I always have to make sure I'm doing something with that. Even during the times where I feel like I'm going through beat block or something. I gotta do something to do. I gotta water that first and foremost. Then collaborating when I'm even just the placement side or just getting my beats out to people. I gotta make sure I'm sending beat packs out, which I've been slow on that too because, like I said, I do other things, engineering. If I'm getting booked, then I ain't gonna have time. I used to be a night owl, but I be needing my sleep. And I feel like a lot of people get a lot of things done when they work late. And I know even when I first started producing, when I used to stay up late, I used to get a lot done. But for now I'm starting to wake up earlier because that gives me more time in a day. So I have to wake up earlier to do all this, to fit all that in my day. I'll be working out too. So you gotta fit the gym in there. Health is wealth. Gotta fit the gym in there. Just, first of all, your mental is important. Taking care of your mental. If your mental not important, everything gonna fall. So whatever you need to do, work out, pray, meditate, whatever you do, get that together first. Then be productive. Make sure you always watering something that's gonna grow your brand. That's what I do, whether it be streaming. If I don't make a beat today and I stream, sometimes I might not be in the mood to make a beat today, but if I start streaming, I might make one just for the stream. That's a beat made though. You know, I didn't even think about it. I probably was in a phase where I was getting beat blocked, but since I got on stream, niggas asked me to make a beat. Fuck it, I'll make a beat on here. I didn't even think about making a beat, but since I got on there, everything just works in everything. You gotta keep it. You got to keep it pushing. Have a self-care day too. You gotta get you some self-care days in too. But water and everything, I would say.
I like that saying. Do something to water your brand. Actually, I'm gonna do something though that I would say a little quote that I be saying. I'm gonna shout you out too, but because I liked it that. Just do something to water it. Like it ain't gotta be a lot of water. Just do something. You know what I'm saying? If it's an hour, 30 minutes, just do something to water your brand. Like that's dope. That is so dope. So, what do you think sets the Detroit music scene apart from other cities?
We just got a distinct sound.
Okay.
Our music is faster than the rest of the city or the world. We make our beats, they be between 180 and 200. You listen to some Baby Tron shit, that shit 200 BPM. Yeah, like it's fast. But if you think about old techno music, is fast too.
Right.
Like jit music, that's fast. It's always been like that. I know Chicago be jit too, footwork too, but it's always been fast and make you move, make you groove, you know? A lot of people didn't start catching on. A lot of people used to call our shit trash for years. Like they used to think, yo, this shit trash. Don't be playing this. Don't nobody want to hear that Detroit shit. Turn that shit. Oh, ain't nobody playing that shit. Now it was now y'all want to hear it. I will say the Rocaine, Bossman, D-Lo sound, that is a little bit slower, but it's dark as well. We have a thing. So if it's not fast and techno like, it's dark. We got like scary movie beats. People be calling me when I'm on TikTok sometimes, niggas be in the comments trying to flame like, this is a scary movie beat. Da, 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 da. I'm like, listen, this is what we do. Like that's and then we got hard drums behind it. But niggas rapping on it though. Right. Niggas trying to say it's the Florida sound. Niggas trying to say it's the Bossman D-Lo sound. Niggas trying to say, no, like that came from us. That dark, heavy 808 bounce, that came from us. So if it's not dark and sound like you running from Michael Myers with an 808 on it and some hi-hats, if it's not that, then it's like techno fast with Baby Tron be rapping on. And 200 BPM. That's and I feel like people been so burnt out on that same Atlanta sound, that same Lil Baby sound, or the same NBA YoungBoy, Rod Wave, them type of beats. Like I said, I do not enjoy making them beats. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not a big fan of pain music. I don't have to be a fan of the music to make it, but I gotta be in a mindset to at least like it. Like, I have to like it somewhat. I gotta feel it. I gotta bob my head. I have to bob my head while I'm making a beat. If I can't bob my head while I'm making this sad-ass Rod Wave instrumental, this beat, I'm not gonna make it. I hate that shit. I really hate that depressed ass shit. He do got a couple bangers. I'm not gonna act like he don't have no couple bangers that I throw on every now and then. But just to constantly listen to that, I can't. So I feel like a lot of people getting burnt out on that same... that same Little Baby, Lil Durk sound. Not to say them niggas still not going with that shit. They got their fan base, but that's where we came in with the change. And it took for somebody to make it cool. And I hate that too. Like, T Grizzly did have a blow up song first day out. But the way that Bossman D-Lo came in, I feel like Bossman D-Lo took Vezo sound. The way that Bossman D-Lo came in and made the sound popular kind of irritated me. Because Vezo been doing that.
It still is.
Yeah, he been doing that.
Right.
So people was just looking for a change, and it happened to be us. And we still going. If a lot of people be asking, if you think it's gonna get burnt out. I feel like everything get burnt out. You just gotta evolve.
And I feel like even if it do, Detroit come up with like we ain't gonna stop.
Exactly.
It's not gonna stop.
The Cheddar Boys sound don't sound the same as our sound today.
Right.
You know, so we gonna just keep getting better and evolving, and then somebody else gonna take it and say, "Oh, that's his sound," and people gonna find out, no, babe, we curated that. That started with us. So, yeah.
Have you faced any challenges as a female producer in a predominantly male industry?
Yeah, niggas be horny. Niggas be horny, you know, like, you know.
Industry crazy.
Yeah, like, not to toot my own horn, but I know I'm an attractive female. And then when niggas hear me, a lot of times it's sad because when I go in the studio to work and I know my clientele is males or a man that I'm working with, I go in there looking bummy sometimes. T-shirt, hair tied. Sometimes go no lashes, nothing like that, just to keep it like we're working. I don't mix business and pleasure. That's something that I don't do, that I stand by. I never have. I never did that. I've seen other people do it. I'm a person that learns from other people's mistakes. If I see something done, I learn from somebody's mistake. So it don't take me much to catch on. Niggas be horny, you know, like niggas be trying to, they will present you with an opportunity. I've run into this a lot. They'll present you with an opportunity, quote unquote, and later on you find out they just trying to take you on a date, or they just trying to fuck, and then you will tell them no. You ain't on that. You trying to work. I'm trying to work, gang. Like, I thought I was sis. You just was calling me sis. Now I'm bae. How do we get here? And then boom, now your place, now whatever they was talking about not happening no more. Now that's just not in it. I've ran into that a lot. I feel like a lot of females run into that. Niggas be horny, they just can't work. And there'd be a lot of men that I come across that try to flirt with me. They be like, I want to beat and I want to take you on a date. I said pick one. I always say that. I said pick one because you'll never have both. I don't think I would ever date someone that raps. That's just me personally. I don't want to do that. I don't want to mix business and pleasure. If things turn sour, I don't want my business to be entangled with our feelings. That's just not smart to me. So things never turn out good. So yeah, when you attract a female, just with artists too, right? Niggas be horny and predatory. Especially when you get higher up in the industry. Niggas be doing all type of weird shit. I learned how to conduct myself though. That's shit you just gotta work through. You know?
So how do you stay inspired and keep your sound fresh in the in the changing of your music landscape?
Just being around other people. Like I said earlier, being around other creatives, being around different sounds that is different from mine. Even when people ask to collab with me, I always tell them, do not send me nothing that sounds simple that I could have made myself. Because we two creatives. If you're not sending me nothing that's different from what I already do, then I'm probably not going to pick it. Don't send me no Detroit melodies. Please don't send me that. I already make that on my own. What's the point of collabing with somebody if it sounds like one person could have did it? I don't like that. So I like to be around people who just have different sounds and do different things than what I do. And try to take little bits and pieces and incorporate that. And that inspires me. Being around people who've done more than what I did. Or just, it's always good to be around people who are where you want to be. You know, when you around people like that, you never know what you run into. You never know what you will hear or anything like that. So just listening to different things, going to different places. You gotta be, even with the networking thing, you gotta be open to network. You can't be no introvert in this shit, man. You're not gonna get anywhere. Period. People be majority of the people producers starting off, they be, I'm an introvert. Well, brother, if you're not gonna get out of that, then you're not gonna go nowhere, because you have to mingle. You have to get out of that. And no, you ain't gotta chat it up with everybody. You ain't gotta shake hands with everybody, but you gotta get your face out there. I used to be like that. You gotta get your face out there. I get not wanting to be seen. I get the industry is vicious, but how are people gonna hear you? It's 1,000 people that can do what you do. It's people that can do what I do better than me. But your personality and your relationship and how you carry that can take you way longer and carry you way farther than you just being in the house making beats in your room 40 days, 40 nights. How you gonna get it out there? You know? Like, you gotta do something. You can promote, of course, but it's 2026. Niggas is nosy. People is nosy. They want to see niggas doing content now. You gotta get out of that. Do some content. You gotta do different things. Like, yeah, you gotta, for sure.
Are there a specific genre or style you are looking to explore in your future projects?
Future projects, yeah. I actually have a group that I met online. They live in Jamaica. Genuine Jamaican sound. They make Jamaican music, and I want to get into the dance hall. Like I said, I love making Afrobeats anyway. Things that make you feel good. I want to get into the tropical sound. Like, I love that. I love it. I want to be able to mix everything together on one project, a collab tape. I want to be able to have that with some R&B, with some Detroit. Like, I want to have that all on one tape one day. But I feel like I have to showcase everything. And, because that's like, usually when you have tapes or projects like that, when people are fixated on you having a certain sound, they already know what they're expecting. A lot of people might not like that. But I feel like if you fire, you fire. But I want to do each thing individually first. So I want to do an Afrobeat tape. I want a feel-good dance tape. I want to do a techno tape. Techno. Fast, groovy. That's a feel that I want to do too. I love give me a little shoulder work in every now and then. You know, like I love that. So I feel like, yeah, Afro, the tropical dancehall sound, and then like the techno, getting back to our roots, the Detroit techno sound. I want to definitely do that as well.
Is you gonna start producing your own tapes where you bring artists on?
Yeah, I had one that I announced like a year ago, and I became too much of a perfectionist and killed the momentum for me. I killed the momentum because I was getting songs back, but then I was getting better too. I was getting better. My beats were better. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm working on this tape, but then I want to redo the beats. But then the time got away from me, and I kind of just killed the momentum. But yes, that's in the works this year. I'm at a place where I just need to do it. If I overthink it, because I'm an overthinker when it comes to music, I don't know. I like to be great. So I have to stop the overthinking and just do it. I have some big artists on there too. I'm probably still going to incorporate that, but I know a lot of the songs that I did get back from the tape that I was working on, I'm gonna have to swap them beats out because I could just do better. I could do better. So yeah, definitely collab tape on the way for sure.
You said you just want you just didn't feel confident in it to push it out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that was your beginning stage. That was your
Yeah.
first, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And I should have just
Should
put
just
it
did
out.
it out, like whatever.
I didn't though.
Like whatever.
And that
like,
time that I sat on it, I was overthinking it.
because it would have showed your,
Growth.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this where I started and this where I'm at. Y'all hear the difference?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
We would have loved the period.
I was overthinking a project like that. Cause I got so many people who do things like that, and I want mine to be it. I wanted it to be it, and that killed everything. Overthinking, trying to be a perfectionist. Don't do that, y'all. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that,
You always gonna pick yourself apart down to the bone if you do that, and you ain't gonna have nothing. I ain't never put it. I never did it, but now I gotta hold myself accountable. And I have to put out a tape this year. Probably the next couple months. Who knows, y'all?
because like even when I hear like the old Doughboys, that's in Teen East Side. The clarity wasn't even there, but we was banging it like it was. You know what I'm saying? Like it was It was just like I'm listening now on YouTube. I'm like, dang, we was listening to this. It wasn't even that clear.
Yeah.
But it was just
It was
us.
there,
You know what I'm saying? Just
in our sound.
if they would have never did it, they wouldn't even been where they at today.
Right.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? How do you feel about the evolution of music production, technology, and its impact on your work?
I appreciate the evolution. I don't appreciate this AI bullshit that's going on. I do not appreciate that. Timberland, I love Timberland. I can always, I've never not loved Timberland, but my baby pushing that shit. I'm talking about he pushing it. And there are a lot of artists that are pissed about that, because how are you able to train AI to sound like this when you got people, real writers, real talent, real people who working way harder than AI. This is a computer we talking about that is getting 3 billion streams, this, that, getting all this spotlight. It's a slap to the face. I don't appreciate the AI. I feel like everybody's abusing AI, to be honest. It's fucking up the impoverished places in certain places anyway. On the music side, I really, unless you're using AI as a tool, to help you, not to actually do the work for you, which in some cases it's okay, but a lot of people are abusing it. So it's just like, just take it away. I miss the world without it. I've heard people say AI has always been around, but it just hasn't been this advanced. It just hasn't been this advanced, which I can see that. I mean, iPhones, they've been around for a long time. They've been doing crazy shit for a long time, but we get to the point where niggas using AI for like therapy and relationship advice. Like it's getting kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that was deep right there.
Yeah, like it's getting kind of ridiculous. Like, come on, like, can we get back to just being people and using our brains and just working through things? But as far as just staying on topic on the music, the technology, I feel like that's the biggest thing that's just a stain in music. The AI shit, like the whole AI artist thing. No, bro, no. I don't even know what else to say. No.
Don't they got a female AI artist that they had?
Yes, they do. Kehlani went on a rant about that shit, cause she said that's bullshit, and it's bullshit. Like, how y'all we got artists that's working hard and sound good, and y'all tell a computer to do this and train them off other people's voice, their likeness, and their voice. That's hell no. I'm suing, but you can't sue because you using it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like you damn near agreed to it somewhere somehow. Who knows what they put in there that you agreed to, that they like, oh, you can't sue us. But yes, I feel like that's crazy. Kehlani was right when she went on her rant. That shit, nah. Everything gonna evolve. The years are going by, but that's too far to me.
What advice would you give to an aspiring female producer looking to break into the industry?
Just do it. Don't think about it too hard. If you need it be females reaching out to me that want to start, and I remember when I first started, there was females reaching out to me, and I go back to see if they had any progress, because I support female producers. Like, I do. Once I come across one, I support, because I remember me starting off. Niggas felt like I wasn't the one making the beats. And y'all, you ain't make this. Like, it's hard out here for us, especially like you said earlier, in a male-dominated field. Niggas ain't looking for us to do that. I seen a nigga on live. I posted content about it. Nigga on live said, niggas are women always doing what men want to do. Well, like, I'm like, damn.
I'm going on a rant, huh?
Like, I'm like, damn, I can't make a little beater or two. Like, wow. But you just gotta do it. You gotta want to do it. You gotta have a passion for it. Don't do it for no money, because if you do it for money, you're gonna be highly disappointed. That comes later on. I didn't start seeing royalty money until after I left my management. Put that first. After I left my management. So that was already like 5 years in to me making beats. You're not going to see consistent money until you are consistent for a couple of years, 3 years, and you made your connections. You have to go through that time of you getting to know people. You got to make your connections. So you got to be willing to do that. You got to go through it and get through it. Do it. Don't procrastinate. Don't be sitting there asking people to teach you how to do this and do that. Like I said, nobody taught me. Be prepared for these horny ass niggas out here. Be prepared. If you're on that and you know you like to give it up, do that. You know, I am not knocking nobody for how they deal with their sexual whatever, desires, whatever. But it is never a good idea to mix business and pleasure. Not all men, but these men out here they're a little weird. They're weird, and they will be feeling like they gave you an opportunity and they can take it away from you because you ain't give them no coochie, or you did give them some coochie and you did something that they didn't like. It just steer away from that. Separate that. Separate your business from pleasure. Please, like, that's the best thing you could do. These niggas ain't nice out here. Not as nice as you think they are. And don't trust nobody. It's one thing I did learn. Don't trust nobody fully in this shit. You know, you're gonna meet some people that's genuine. I'm not saying that you're just not gonna never come across nobody genuine, but 90% of the time, don't trust nobody. And don't nobody got your best interest like you got your best interest. So, be prepared, girl. Whoever you are, whoever I'm talking to, get out there, though. So.
Well, I want to thank you for so much for dropping all these gems on us.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It's
got
been
Diamond
fun.
to be in the building.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said I had to interview you, because I couldn't find no female producers.
Yeah.
And I was like, this for sure legend.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
For
thank
sure.
you. I like that L word. Legend.
For
Okay.
sure. Tell them where to follow you at.
On Instagram, my name is Dime. That is DIME DIAM_. TikTok, Dime OTB, so DIME OTB. Twitch, Dime on the Beats. And yeah, those are all my handles. For real, tap in with me. Come shop. Let's work. However y'all want to do it. Be willing to spend that money. Don't come anything handy now. I work with people though, but
Come correct.
Come correct now.
Well, I appreciate you again, and thank you again and again, because you took your time, your energy
Of course.
to come support the platform. And I thank you again.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
And shout out around. What's up?
Porsche.
Porsche.
Say it ain't Porsche. That's my baby. She's sitting behind the camera too. That's my baby. That's my friend. That's one of my closest, my bestest, sitting there supporting. Shout out to follow her too. She's an artist, dope, very much
Follow her.
so.
Where you follow her at? What's her?
Say It Ain't Porsche on all platforms, right?
Yeah, PORSH.
Yeah.
Don't piss me off and put no E and C. Just PORSH.
Yep.
Say it ain't Porsche.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you, Diamond B.
Of
Appreciate you.
course. Okay.